The following program is intended for mature audiences.
A democratic republic of sports. The Sportsocracy with ESPN Asheville hosts Tank Spencer and Jeremy Greene.
And welcome into the Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. Jeremy Greene's alongside. We are in the Wicked Weed studio, wickedweedbrewing.com. Drink different. It is a Monday morning, and it's time for Overreactions for Week 6 in the NFL. It was a great day yesterday. I mean, we got a lot of games right. I mean, Jeremy got more games right than any of us, but, you know, it
How about them Jacksonville Jaguars?
Oh, my God. Oh, what a way to start out the day with Jacksonville getting their first win of the season, snapping a 20-game losing streak. We had a barn burner between the Dallas Cowboys and the New England Patriots, and didn't see that one coming.
No, we asked all weekend long, hey, why is this fucking spread so close? Oh, wait, that's why. Because Bill does weird things in New England.
Right. It wasn't quite the shootout that we thought it would be between the Cardinals and the Browns. Oh, Browns going Brown.
Oh, don't worry. We're going to talk about the Browns.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about a lot of teams today.
Oh, we're going to talk about all of them. And, of course, we welcome everybody into the program. Be sure to hit that subscribe button so you see all the content as it comes out. We'll have the individual game-by-game recaps coming out later on tonight.
Michael Whiteside asked if my DraftKings lineup cashed. It would have if I had left it the fuck alone.
Oh, did you change it?
But I didn't. I didn't do that.
Did you change it?
I did.
Oh.
I played Kyler Murray and Keenan Allen instead of Cooper Kupp.
No.
After I said Cooper Kupp a billion
times, yeah.
Yeah.
Guess what? I cashed 2 weeks in a row. I'm excited. It's the first 2-week cashing streak that I've ever had on DraftKings.
That little dance you did was one of
this.
That's awful.
I could do this all day.
I really wish you wouldn't.
Anybody ever wonder what happened to the Numa kid when he grew up?
Oh, wait. Was she a great big fat person?
Take it any way you can get it, I guess. Anyway, no doubt Aaron Rodgers loved his reaction after scoring the touchdown against the Chicago Bears.
Yeah, let's just slide right into that.
Okay.
Just simply because, me and Twitter don't necessarily always get along. And by don't always get along, I mean I fucking hate it with every fiber of my soul.
Okay.
So our first overreaction.
Yeah.
Should Bears fans be angry at Aaron Rodgers?
Yes.
No.
Yes.
You know who you should be mad at? Your shit-ass organization. That's who you should be mad at. Because guess what? He's right. He does own you.
Uh-huh.
And he has for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
This is not new.
What's his record against the Bears? It was like 21-5.
It's
that
a
effect?
whole lot to not many.
Oh, yeah.
And you know you should be mad at? The people I've been telling you should be mad at for 9 months since you drafted Justin Fields. And I went, This doesn't make any sense. None of this makes any sense. So you've got Matt Nagy that's never worked with a quarterback like this, ever. Who's literally got 1 foot in the grave and 1 foot on a banana peel.
Right.
And you go, yeah, let's let you do this. Yeah, sure, why not? How bad can it go? This is how bad it can go. Your biggest rival is literally taunting your fans because he knew, and the same way that I knew, this game was never competitive. I don't give a fuck what the score was.
Right.
I wouldn't have cared if you won. You wouldn't have meant to.
All right, it's basically just the cat playing with the mouse.
That offense is embarrassingly bad. Khalil Herbert actually had a legitimate big boy day.
Yes, he did.
Good call on that, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
I told you he was going to be close to, if not at 100 yards and a touchdown. And guess what? 97 yards rushing and a touchdown.
Let's play a fun game. Do you want to hear the list of teams that average fewer yards per game passing than the Chicago Bears?
Yes.
Do you want to hear it again?
Uh-huh.
How about again?
Okay.
And again?
We're good.
Okay, there we go.
I think we got it.
They are 52 yards behind every team in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Think about what I just said.
It's passing league. Passing league.
They are 100 yards passing. 100 yards passing per game behind every team in the NFL, not named the New Orleans Saints, the New York Jets, and the Houston Texans. And you have this offensive genius, Matt Nagy, that, we don't fire coaches in season.
You should.
Okay, then. You keep
had...
resting on that laurel there, Bears fans, and keep telling me I'm an idiot and a clown and all these other things on Twitter. You are the clowns.
I don't think
the Chicago Bears are the biggest dumpster fire organization in this league.
Right.
Worse than the Texans, worse than the Jets, worse than the Lions. Because you know what all of those teams have in common?
What?
They have some form of hope. Some form. Little, small, itty.
The Bears have none, do you?
What's your hope?
Your hope is at some point you could fix that offensive line and maybe Justin Fields
You
will
think
turn
that's,
into a
you really,
real
honest to
quarterback.
God, think that's his problem? You really, honest to God, think that the problem with Justin Fields is not that he's a bad quarterback, it's that the line's so bad?
I think he could be better with a better offensive line.
Well, I mean, of course he could be better. Do you realize how many steps he has to go to get to Mac Jones? Because it's 10. Easy. He is a joke of an embarrassment of an NFL quarterback. And I want to sit here and dance all the people that on all the people that called me a racist or didn't know what I was talking about. But it never had anything to do with me not liking the kid, because I like the kid. Mm-hmm. I think he's a hell of a kid.
Right.
Here's my problem. You just went to the Siberia of the NFL offensively.
Yeah.
With a dumpster fire head coach, with a GM who's, I can only imagine as on thin of ice as Matt Nagy is. And you didn't understand why trading a future first-round pick for this was stupid. What does he have? All right, so he's a mediocre talent anyway. He's got a great arm.
Yeah.
But in terms of all-around quarterback, he's a mediocre talent.
Right.
What does he have? You tell me what this team has that actually legitimately in any way fucking scares you. Because I know what you're going to say, and you're not going to like my response.
I would say Allen Robinson would be the only thing that scares you on the offense.
You mean Allen Robinson who has 21 catches all year? Mm-hmm. You know why? Because he's the only thing you're scared of.
Right.
He's it. Oh, Darnell Mooney can have a good game. Yeah, you know why? Because every defense is shaded over to Allen Robinson. Mm-hmm. Because Cole Kmet was a wasted draft pick. Because somehow you took one of the most talented tight ends I've ever evaluated and turned him into an absolute mediocre, slow, plodding, can't catch tight end.
Yeah.
There was nothing promising about this. And that's what I was trying to say. That's all I was ever trying to say. And I got Bears fans who routinely, you're stupid. You don't know what you're talking about. Really? Which quarterbacks that were drafted did I like?
Oh, you like Trey Lance.
Mm-hmm.
You like Zach Wilson.
Mm-hmm.
You like Trevor Lawrence.
Mm-hmm. That was it.
Yeah.
I liked the fit for Mac Jones, but I always said he would be limited. And we'll get to that in a minute.
Right.
And this was the one that I came down on and said, none of this makes any sense. Mm-hmm. And now you have your opposing quarterback, your biggest rival, literally flexing on you on your home field. I didn't realize this until Peter Schrager pointed it out earlier. Do you realize they wore their home uniforms?
Green Bay did?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they did, didn't
Yeah.
they?
Do you know why?
Why?
It was a shot at Chicago of, this is a home game for us. And it was. Did you hear how loud it was hearing the "Go Pack Go" in Chicago?
Yeah.
The Chicago Bears are the most hapless franchise in the NFL, and no one will convince me different.
Yeah. But you don't think that can change with a different coach, different scheme?
What do you do? So you don't have a first-round pick this year, and I got news for you. That pick's going to be real good, and this is a good fucking draft. Mm-hmm. You don't think they could have used another weapon or an offensive lineman or something? And I be really honest with you, I think I said this the night of the draft. I think Chicago could have sat exactly where they were and gotten the same player.
Right.
Because who was taking him? Who was lining up to take Justin Fields? I heard this from damn near every team that had a need at quarterback. We're good. Mm-hmm. Because of exactly what you're seeing right now. Alex Sander asked in the comments, just want to put this out there, since you're talking about the Bears, would you rather have Trubisky or Fields? I'm going to say Mitch Trubisky. I would rather have Mitch Trubisky than Justin Fields.
No,
because there's so many things you have to do to make him good. Mm-hmm. Mitch Trubisky did not a lot, but most of what he did with nothing.
Right.
And you know what the Bears are going to do? I can literally tell you how this is going to go for the next 3 years.
Okay.
They are going to funnel it into trying to make him a real-life quarterback. Mm-hmm. And you know what you can't change? You can't change the fact that his instincts are bad, and they always have been. Mm-hmm. You could give him Devontae Adams and DeAndre Hopkins, and you know what he's still going to do?
What?
Turn his back to the line and get smoked like a honey ham. Because it's in you. I've never seen a quarterback stop doing that, ever. Mm-hmm. I've never seen one that, hell, Trubisky did it. I've never seen a quarterback that's, and here's the problem. This is the shot that people like me have always taken at athletic quarterbacks. I don't have a problem that you run. I care less. Lamar Jackson's the only one I've ever seen take the next step. Mm-hmm. And people say Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson was never a running quarterback. He was a very good pocket passer that just so happened to be able to run.
Right.
There's a big fuck difference. If you're going to call Russell Wilson one, you better call Steve Young one too. Mm-hmm. So I've never seen one progress past that because they get here because they're so damn athletic and they have this cannon arm, but they never learn the idiosyncrasies of playing the position. Mm-hmm. Mac Jones was never the most athletic player on any field. You know what he learned? How to play the position. And so now he's damn near mastered this New England offense in half a year. Do I think it matters? No. But will he have a better career than Justin Fields? Absolutely he will.
Yeah.
Absolutely he will.
I don't know. I think I still think it's too soon to come down that hard on.
Name me
Justin
a quarterback
Fields
that's ever been this bad, and became anything in the NFL.
I can't do it. I can't recall another rookie quarterback who's drafted in the first round that comes out and throws 120 yards a week.
Yeah. Oh, I mean,
I can't.
They've been there. Oh, they've 100% been there. You want me to tell you his name? Lamar Jackson. Well, we've been down this path. You know what? I have no,
but he also had
faith in.
He also had 100 rushing yards, though, to go on with.
And Justin Fields could do the same thing.
Right.
He won't.
He just doesn't.
And I can't tell you if it's because of Matt Nagy or if it's because of where his mental makeup is as a quarterback. I don't know. I cannot tell you. But I can tell you this. That's not an NFL quarterback, period.
Okay.
And he never will be. He never will be. And now, if he played for the Ravens and I had a belief that the organization could build a scheme around him the way they built a scheme around Lamar Jackson, sure. Then I would say he had a shot. I don't buy the Bears at all. And I don't give a fuck who you are. This is from the top down. This is institutional issues. And there are teams that just do this. The Jets are one of them. The Houston Texans have long been one of them. There's dysfunction at the top, and it filters down. And it spills that loser gravy all over everybody it touches. Mm-hmm. And that's where the Chicago Bears are. And your fans come on Twitter and go, that's not in the means of sportsmanship. Piss off.
I be honest with you, I did not see any of that, and that, to me, is absolutely ridiculous. What do you expect him to do?
Fields?
No, Aaron Rodgers.
Oh,
what do you expect him to do? Like he scores the touchdown, and y'all are flipping him off in the end zone. Mm-hmm. Do you not expect him to react?
Well, that's the world we live in. People think they can just do and say anything, and people won't respond.
Right.
Of course they will. Of course they will. You want to be a schmuck? Be a schmuck. That's fine. Just don't be shocked when somebody schmucks you back.
Right. Now, you can be mad all you want to at Aaron Rodgers. I realize that this has been percolating for 15 years. But, yeah, I mean, this goes back to the, I think about the Red Sox and the Yankees. Remember when Pedro Martinez, the fans kept calling him, their daddy, or the Yankees were his daddy. Yeah. It's the same damn thing.
Yeah, I mean, here's the thing. Every action has an equal and opposite reaction. Right. You run your mouth constantly, and this is what you get. Chuck G asked in the comments, what's the difference between a running quarterback and a scrambler? I will tell you how I evaluate it, and you don't have to agree with me. This is just my take. Lamar Jackson is a running quarterback at this point. Mm-hmm. He came into the league as a scrambler. If the best thing you do is run around, you're a scrambler. If you can sit in the pocket and throw, you're a running quarterback. Mm-hmm. Russell Wilson's a running quarterback. Trey Lance at this point is a scrambler. Can he evolve? Absolutely. Justin Fields.
You don't think Justin Fields has it in him to evolve?
No, because the things that he can't do, I've never seen somebody get better at. He can't set a line protection to save his life because he has no feel. Mm-hmm. He has no feel for the blitz.
But does that not come in with experience?
It will get better. But in large part, anybody that comes into the league and you don't know how to do this, you're not. I'll tell you how this was explained to me. Learning to play quarterback in the NFL is a lot like trying to do algebra problems standing in the middle of I-26. You got shit just flying around, and you can't think straight. This comes into what your standing cognitive thoughts are. Mm-hmm. And Justin Fields has always been the most athletic player on the field, and he always had great talent around him. So he knew at the end of the day, Chris Olave is going to get open, or whoever else he's had over the course of time. They're going to get open. So I can just trust my receivers. Well, in the NFL, you can't do that.
Right.
You cannot do that in the NFL. You have to have a plan A, B, C, D, and Fields is lucky if he gets to B. Mm-hmm. I watch his eyes. He threw 3 of the worst passes I have ever seen in my life yesterday. And you know what they all had in common?
What's that?
He's under duress. Mm-hmm. He's under duress. So instead of throwing the ball away, you throw one in the back of the end zone that literally hit Adrian Amos in the hands. So that's just who you are. Ryan Leaf had the same problem. Ryan Leaf had the exact same problem. He always had this huge arm, mm-hmm. and he was well protected, so he could sit back there and wait for things to develop. Mm-hmm. Well, in crunch time, in the moment, he was not enough to go A, B, C, get out. Mm-hmm. He can't do it. Justin Fields can't do it. I don't know about Trey Lance. I haven't seen him. Zach Wilson, I have some fears with him. But with Zach Wilson, I'm still looking at it going, I've seen you do high-level shit. I haven't seen Justin Fields do anything high-level. Mm-hmm. I've watched every play he has run in this league. I have yet to see him do one. I have yet to see one play where I went, hey, Case Keenum couldn't have done that.
Right.
Not one.
Right. Yeah, I agree with you. You're not wrong. It's just he's in a bad situation. It's a bad team.
Armchair commentary
and maybe with some more support, he could get better.
Armchair commentary just gave the best comment of the day so far. I think Mahomes has that issue right now. You're exactly right. Mm-hmm. Because Mahomes came into the NFL, and the knocks on him in college are exactly what he's going through right now.
Panicking.
Mm-hmm. My evaluation of Pat Mahomes when he was coming out of college was he thinks he can throw a strawberry through a battleship. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it gets you in trouble. And right now it's getting him in trouble. Because things are happening around him. This has worked the entire time, so he never progressed past it. Right. He had Tyreek Hill, he had Travis Kelce, he had Sammy Watkins, who I'm still telling you that is the most underrated loss of any team in the NFL. Because that second receiver has been bad for Kansas City.
Yeah.
No matter who it is. Mecole Hardman, yeah. Byron Pringle, Demarcus Robinson, they've all been bad. Mm-hmm. They don't have but one receiver ranked in the top 50 of Pro Football Focus grades.
Right.
That tells you a lot.
Yeah. There have been a lot of drops. There have been a lot of misfires though by Patrick Mahomes as well, mm-hmm. and some bad luck. Did he throw 3 interceptions again yesterday, or was it just 2?
It was 2.
It was 2, and he lost a fumble.
Let me verify that. It was not particularly.
But there were But there's some luck that goes into that as well. Some bad luck that goes into that.
He threw 2 picks and lost a fumble. Mm-hmm. Or no, he didn't lose a fumble. He fumbled and recovered.
He fumbled and recovered it. Okay.
Mecole Hardman lost the fumble.
Yeah. That's right. But there's the, passes getting tipped at the line and winding up in the defense's hands, or the Tyreek Hill play. Where the ball goes through his hands and gets picked. There's some bad luck that goes into it as well.
And by the way, Chuck G said this in the comments, please tell your family to stop tweeting.
Me?
No, Pat Mahomes.
Oh, yeah.
Pat Mahomes. Please tell your family to stop tweeting. Mike Rawson said Mahomes' brother dancing on Sean Taylor's number was bad. Everything Pat Mahomes' brother has done has been bad.
Yeah.
There are very few people I look at in life and go, you don't have to speak for me to know you're an asshole. Mm-hmm. He's one of them.
So he was dancing on the number after they won?
Yeah. It was, the whole family
just
is
banned
just,
him from the
good God, if I'm Andy Reid, I look at Pat Mahomes and go, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to tell your whole family to shut the whole fuck up. Like, never speak again. You are on conversation probation for 1 calendar year. You're not allowed to tweet or... And then his mom comes out and the interceptions have been Tyreek Hill's fault.
Yeah.
Stop talking. Just stop. I understand your son's fantastic, and these people that are throwing dirt on his grave are morons.
Right.
If you don't think Pat Mahomes and Andy Reid are going to figure this out, I got a bridge to sell you.
Right.
But right now, it's not good. Mm-hmm. And I got news for you. Kansas City's probably going to fall in my power rankings again tomorrow.
Yeah.
Because that defense is fucking horrible. Mm-hmm. That touchdown to Ricky Seals-Jones, there was nobody within 10 yards of him. Mm-hmm. And I can't tell if it was a busted. It's bad for me when I watch the All-22 and go, I can't tell if that was a busted coverage or if just literally there's nobody there.
Right.
I mean, I feel like it was a busted coverage, but I can't figure out who busted it.
Yeah.
Usually I can tie it to somebody and go, okay, you're standing somewhere that doesn't make any sense.
Is this the football version of the yips, though? This is where Patrick Mahomes and the Kansas City Chiefs are right now, is that they've been so good for so long that it starts to steamroll. And is it in their heads now that something bad's going to happen? Is there anything to that? I mean, because you very rarely see this team like get in the red zone and not convert. Hell, they did it 3 times yesterday.
Well, the thing about Kansas City at this point is that they're so one-dimensional. They can't run a greasy peg up a cat's ass. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, you just know. And I'll be honest with you, I watched this team, and I watched a lot of this game yesterday, and the only thing I could think of was, God almighty, how much better would this team be if they had DeAndre Swift? Mm-hmm. If DeAndre Swift was the one that you were worried about out of the backfield, it would bring the safeties up because he can do otherworldly things. You know who can't do that? Darrell Williams.
Yeah.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Yeah.
And so there's just a lot of, I mean, I'm going to say the same thing about Andy Reid that I've said about Bill Belichick. Super Bowls and winning records make up for a lot of drafting ills. Mm-hmm. And there have been a lot of really questionable decisions made by that front office in terms of who they draft.
Are they out of the Super Bowl contender range for you, though?
This team, as it's currently situated, cannot win a Super Bowl now. Because good pass rushing teams are going to kill them.
Mm-hmm. What can change?
I'm going to say the same thing about Kansas City that I said about Pittsburgh. And we'll talk about Pittsburgh later as well.
Yeah.
Now it's getting into you're going to have to scheme things right. The thing about this team since Pat Mahomes became the quarterback is that you can just roll a ball out there and go, wah, we're good. You can't do that anymore. You can't do that anymore. You have 2 weapons that legitimately scare people, and it's getting into Pat Mahomes' head.
Yeah, and it's just the fact that the opponent yesterday was that bad that they were still able to come away with a convincing win.
Can we stop on Taylor Heineke, by the way? Are we good there? We're good?
God.
Okay. I was just making sure.
Taylor Heineke, awful once again. And who's
I don't know what Terry McLaurin's catch rate is right now, but I swear to you, I think he's caught a third of every pass that's been thrown to him. And the catchable rate has got to be ungodly.
Yeah.
I feel bad for that poor kid.
Well, they can't wait for Ryan Fitzpatrick to come back.
And just this is my weekly reminder of stop bringing up Cam Newton's name. Oh, he got vaccinated. I got news for you. His vaccination status had as little to do with why he wasn't in the NFL as my hair had to do with why I'm not a prima ballerina. Nothing. Had 0 to do with it. Oh, I've been turning down offers. No, you haven't. No, you have not. You lying motherfucker. No, you have not. I talked to a ton of people in this league. And you know what every one of them has told me? He's done.
Oh, yeah.
It would have to go cataclysmic for a team to call him.
Right.
And the only team that would do it would be Washington because he knows the system.
Mm-hmm. So if Taylor Heineke goes down and Ryan Fitzpatrick goes down, that's the only way Cam Newton's getting the call from Washington?
I think Scott Turner's kid would have to go down before they would call Cam Newton. Evan Doyle said, is there a college football Sunday show I'm not aware of? We do not do a weekend college football show, but we do a Sunday betting picks and all that. Mm-hmm. And yesterday, I was just handing out free money. I don't know who, by the way, and let me throw the promo up here just for this. I don't know who you were. If you feel the urge to say it in the comments, more power to you, but I don't know who you are. Somebody hit a big-ass fucking parlay yesterday. Somebody hit an 8-team parlay tied to us.
Nice.
And made a whole mess of motherfucking money.
Good for you.
So I don't know who you were, but good on you. BetUs.com, promo code Sportsocracy. Mm-hmm. A lot of you took us up on that this weekend, and a lot of you made a lot of money. Do you know how we know that? Because when you make a lot of money, we don't. And I watched the amount we've made from them go
down.
I opened that this morning and went, fuck! Somebody did well. And see, that's the bad thing for me. I want all of you to do well. And then there's part of me going, damn, there was a lot of money in that account like yesterday. Shit.
Now your true motives come out.
Hey, I'm a slut for money.
We want you all to win.
I do want y'all to win, and if you would like to, cash app us a little bit of your winnings to make up for the hemorrhage that we took yesterday, that would be awful sweet of you.
Don't forget to go to betus.com, betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy. They will give you a deposit bonus of 125%, up to $2,500. And yes, we do encourage everyone to get involved and to win as much as possible.
Yeah, somebody hit an 8-team NFL parlay yesterday on the early games, and I don't know who they had in the late game. They had to have somebody because it didn't hit until late.
Right.
But good for you. 8-team parlay. An 8-team parlay is hard as hell to hit.
Well, they would have had to have.
Maybe we should contract out whoever that is to start doing my money line parlay of the week.
Right.
Because college football went shitty for me. I'm glad the NFL went well because Saturday was a bloodletting.
Well, the festivities started off yesterday with the Jacksonville Jaguars getting their first win of the year. Yeah, Jeremy got that one. Miami's
Dog water.
bad.
They're awful.
Miami's so bad.
Yeah, Tua Tagovailoa. You remember? You remember when I told you that wasn't going to work?
Yeah.
Do you understand what I'm trying to say now?
Yeah.
Oh, but he threw for 323 yards. A, against the Jaguars. B, it didn't help shit.
No, they did not convert and convert that 300 yards into very many points. And it was just, it was a nasty fest down at the end of turnover.
Urban Meyer flat out coached Brian Flores. With, what was it, 5 seconds to go?
Yep.
5 seconds to go, Jacksonville comes out there at the 45-yard line. It's 4th down, and everybody in the stadium thinks they're going to throw a Hail Mary. I was sitting here in the studio watching this. And I watched them line up, and I saw Brian Flores burn a timeout, and I went, he saw exactly what I just saw. Was that all of this, the entire secondary of Miami's deep. And I'm sitting here thinking, that guy in the slot could literally fall forward, lay down at the first down marker, call a timeout, and they have a shot to kick this.
Yeah, because they
burned the timeout, and I went, cool, Brian Flores saw the same thing I did. I'll be damned if he didn't make it worse. It was blatantly more obvious on the second one.
Right.
And Trevor Lawrence, props to you. I don't know if Brian Schottenheimer told you this. I highly doubt that as somebody that pulled for a team that was coordinated by that dumb shit for a long time. Or if you were just so smart that you went, hey, I see how this could go.
Right.
Urban Meyer had to have some role in it because he was right there to call that timeout. But that's flat out, you got outcoached by Urban Meyer. And so that leads us to our second Overreaction Monday question. Brian Flores should be let go in Miami. And it's CORRECT.
Absolutely.
We're doing these in homage to Aaron Rodgers and his I Own You. So we will be spelling all of the verdicts.
Right. Absolutely.
And I think
Brian Flores needs to be gone.
And I think you should do it today.
Right. And now I understand that they did not have Xavier Howard and they did not have Byron Jones for this game. And some people will use that as the excuse.
Had nothing to do with what you lost.
No, it didn't have anything to do with it. It was mismanagement all the way down to the end. This is just not a good team. And when the Jacksonville Jaguars can basically flex muscle on you in the, last minute and a half of the ball game, that's a very, very troubling sign. Sports freak Brian Hall, boss man over here at iHeart Media Asheville, he
was ready to jump off a bridge.
Yeah,
yesterday.
he was, and I loved his Facebook post of, "We are now officially the worst team in the state of Florida." Yeah, yeah, you are. And we didn't think that was possible. We didn't think anybody would be worse than the Jacksonville Jaguars. But the Miami Dolphins have found themselves in that situation. Tua Tagovailoa has not been good. He has not taken the step that I thought he would.
Stephen Towle, who came and hung out with me yesterday at the social, I believe we will be back at the social next week. I'm not sure. I'll let you know as soon as I know. You'll know. He said let him get back in the country first. He's already back in the country. They flew back last night.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest with you, this would have been a Lane Kiffin on the tarmac kind of thing for me.
Right.
We'll send your shit. Because it was embarrassingly bad.
You're supposed to be the more talented team between the two.
Oh, yeah. By the way, here's that other thing. You traded your first-round pick. The Philadelphia Eagles on that.
Yeah.
Hope you like Jalen Waddle. Because he's all you're going to get. By the way, anybody else realize that Philadelphia might have 3 picks in the top 10 this year?
Yep.
As of right now, and this is according to Tankathon, just looking at all the records as they currently sit, they would have 9, 8, and 3. And the bad thing is their pick is the second best of those 3. I mean,
right.
Philadelphia fans, you should have reason to not jump off a cliff, and none of it has anything to do with Jalen Hurts.
Oh no, they all know. I mean, they all know that we've got the draft capital, and they kept saying it on the broadcast on Thursday night of Jalen Hurts is not good. He is not the future of this franchise. However, you do have three high picks.
Draft capital.
Right. You have 3 high draft picks that you can either use to go get Deshaun Watson, or you can use them on a quarterback and a bunch of pieces next year.
And here's what I will say about the Miami Dolphins. You went all in, and you went all in, and you had a pair of kings in your hand, and everything from there on has gone against you.
Yeah.
Tua Tagovailoa is not an NFL quarterback. He's not. I hate to break it to you, he's not. And the fact that you're going to have to watch Justin Herbert for the foreseeable future is only going to make it worse.
Right.
But the problem with Tua, and this is something that I'm going to be honest with you, it's developing into a theory for me. I don't want quarterbacks from high-level schools. I don't. Ohio State, I'm out. Oklahoma, in large part, I'm out. Kyler Murray is the one. He's the one there that I go, okay, he's the exception.
Well, I wonder how much. I mean, how much does a scout take into account the amount of talent that surrounds these guys? Because I guess that's where you're going with this.
It's taken into account, but here's the problem. Tua Tagovailoa and Justin Fields have the exact same problem. You never learned how to get past this. These young rookie quarterback problems, you can't get past it. It's who you are. This is who Tua Tagovailoa is. This is not going to change. He's not going to wake up one day and just go, hey, I all of a sudden know how to run through a progression. Or, hey, I'm a high-level, competent NFL quarterback. That's who he is.
Yeah.
And now, and I'll be honest with you, of all the things I saw yesterday, that's what would bother me the least. Because I already feel like I knew that. But you should still be able to beat a team like the Jacksonville Jaguars with as much talent as you have. That defense sucks. I mean, sucks something awful.
Yep.
You let Trevor Lawrence just carve you to pieces at times.
They've been carved to pieces by everybody, though. I mean,
And
Jacksonville Jaguars fans are looking at this and going, oh, Trevor was so great. Well, yes, he was. He's able to take advantage of a bad defense, but let's hold off on this for a little second.
And this is still how you cannot go into a season with a hole as big as Miami went in with at running back. Offensively, you can't do it.
Yep.
Rob Johnson and JT Money both asked me about draft-eligible quarterbacks. We will start putting out some draft videos hopefully this week because I've got rankings and things like that. We've been a little behind schedule with NFLDraft.net. The move was not expected to happen until the end of the year, so it accelerated a lot of the process. But JT Money asked me how I feel about Pitt's quarterback. That's Kenny Pickett. Here's the one thing I will caution you with Kenny Pickett. He's 23 years old. You will get burned 100 times out of 100 on the 23-year-old quarterback that carves up 19-year-olds. He was never this high level of quarterback until he was markedly older than everybody. I'm not saying I don't like him. I think he's an NFL level quarterback.
Backup quarterback.
There you go. That's who he is.
Right.
That's who he is. Be very wary of old quarterbacks that in their 5th super senior year start carving people to pieces.
Yeah.
They're just older than everybody they're playing with.
Yeah. He can come in and he can be a decent backup in the league for
I think he can be a good high-level backup.
8 to 10 years.
I do. I think he can be a Colt McCoy type. I don't think everything more than that. But in terms of quarterbacks in this draft class, good luck. It's Sam Howell and then T's and P's.
T's and P's. Matt Corral, you don't like Matt Corral?
Matt Corral ran 417 times against Tennessee. By the way, Tennessee, good luck.
Oh, my God.
We'll talk about that this afternoon.
Oh.
Tell me you're. I'm going to keep saying this line. Tell me you're an asshole without telling me you're an asshole. You brought a golf ball to a college football game. I don't
with
need
the full
you to
intent
tell,
of hitting Lane Kiffin with it.
There's
no other way.
Yeah, because you weren't breaking it out at halftime for a long drive competition.
Right.
You brought that to throw it at someone.
Right.
And you were victorious. Good job, Tennessee.
It was Lane Kiffin. Don't get him mixed. He wasn't throwing it at random people.
Rob Johnson said Desmond Ritter. Alex Sanders said Keaton Slovis. I'm going to hope you said that ironically. He's not the best quarterback on his college team. So, Keaton Slovis, and I tried to tell you. That's one, I've been on that one for a minute.
Spencer Rattler. Hot. Caleb Williams. I tried to tell you.
I still just don't understand why you didn't just say it. Like, why did you allow all of these news articles to be written about how is Lincoln Riley a dumb shit?
Because
Anyway,
it's none of their damn business. It's my process, and I'll do it how I want to do it. Yeah.
But back to the original thought here. Brian Flores, it's time.
Yes.
I started this in the offseason of why do we just assume he's a good coach? Virtually nobody that's ever come off that Belichick tree has ever been a good head coach. And I always felt like Brian Flores got more leeway than he should have, and I never knew why. Well, now you're seeing it. This is a coach that now will have his one really, year was the year you thought they were going to go in 16. Oh, they won 5 games.
Right.
Whoop-de-fucking-do. He's not a good coach. He's not a good coach. And here's the other question. Name me a defensive player that has gotten better under Brian Flores as the head coach. I'll even take the offense away. You were the one that made that 2 offensive coordinator decisions, and which was stupid.
Right.
But, all right, let's just say defensively. Who's gotten better? Byron Jones has gotten worse. Xavier Howard, but he was good anyway.
Right. I wouldn't say that he's gotten better in Miami. I mean, he had a career year last year, but how much was that due to coaching?
That's kind of my point. I just think he's that good. I don't think it really matters who the coach is. So, to me, if I'm Miami, I'm firing Brian Flores today. I'm done with this. Who do you make the coach? Because that's what I got asked on Twitter last night. Who do you make the coach? I don't give a fuck. I don't care if you bring Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson in to coach this team. It ain't Brian Flores.
One of the offensive coordinators can, you don't need 2 people doing that.
They have one high level. I can't remember who it is.
A high-level assistant?
They have one. Well, I don't remember who it is now. I looked at this yesterday because somebody asked me this question. I went, I don't have an answer to that. Oh, Eric Studsville. That's who it would be. Eric Studsville would take over for the rest of the year.
Yeah. Alex Sanders says, do you think with Flores a small problem other than he's got the football IQ of a Satsuma? What the hell's a Satsuma?
I have no idea.
Or the mutiny that happened when they hired him with the tonsil stuff.
Yeah, there's been a lot of things to not like with Brian Flores, and it's time.
There's lots of damn problems.
We're well beyond the time of, as I like to say, grab-ass time is over.
Right. The Indianapolis Colts got a big win yesterday over the Houston Texans. Woo!
Yeah, and we're going to talk about that game for 9 seconds.
Yeah.
Colts, they're not bad. They're not great.
No.
And the Houston Texans suck something awful.
Unfortunately, it was not Michael Pittman's day as he took a back seat to T.Y. Hilton.
Who then got hurt again.
Dumb.
And by the way, Jonathan Taylor, thanks for that 184-yard run since your head coach is a fucking moron and doesn't realize that maybe you should get the ball more than 3 times in the first half. Frank Reich, you dumb shit. Okay, I'm done. That's all I wanted to say. You have one high-level offensive weapon. Right. He had 3 touches in the first half. Stop. Naheem Hines had out-touched him at halftime.
Yeah. At 145 yards, though, on 14 carries. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah, they were almost all in the second half.
Right.
Because somebody came up to Frank Reich and went, hey, stupid, run the damn ball. And he did.
Yep. 2 touchdowns as well on the day, so that was a fantasy hit for yesterday, although it wasn't the spiciest of takes.
Oh, Jonathan, yeah.
Jonathan Taylor's going to have a good day against the Texans.
So I don't think I was the only one that said that.
No, not at all.
But by the way, just since we've already talked about this game, tight end whisper. Remember the ones I told you to play yesterday? Mark Andrews, Ricky Seals-Jones. The tight end whisperer strikes again.
Yeah. Ricky Seals-Jones scoring the touchdown for the Washington football team as they got beat by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, when you cannot listen to anything I say about fantasy football, but if I say something about a tight end, you probably ought to listen to that. I'm pretty good at that.
31-13 in the Chiefs.
And Tyler Conklin, who had a back from the dead day.
Oh, did he?
Mm-hmm. That was the one I had to pick up because I'm in leagues where everybody knows if he picks up a tight end, you should probably put some credence in that.
Right.
So there's fucking none left.
Right.
I picked up Tyler Conklin because I dropped him a week ago. Mm-hmm. And when I drop a tight end, everybody goes, oh, God, he must be dead. He must be legally dead because Jeremy's tight ends are Ross Dwelly and bleh.
West Coast teams coming East Coast for 1 o'clock games. Are we back on that after the Chargers' performance against the Baltimore Ravens yesterday? Nope. Here's the thing. Baltimore Ravens are getting better.
They are.
I feel like they're getting better, and that defense stepped up in a big way yesterday.
The defense is better than you think. Mm-hmm. The Lamar Jackson thing is working just fine. And here's the narrative from this game. Mm-hmm. Did we speak too soon on the Chargers?
No. I don't feel like we did.
For now, I'm going to say RELAX. However, I don't know that I've seen a team get dominated like that and it work out in the end. I think we're probably a year too early on the Chargers.
Okay.
Because this is still a team. I mean, you got to realize there are a lot of players on this team that have never won more than 6 or 7 games this season. Mm-hmm. So I would say they probably read some of their own press clippings. We talked a lot about the Chargers last week.
Yes, we did.
And I would say there was some of that coming into this and maybe a little hubris, and you got punched directly in the ding-ding. I was watching this game with Stephen Tao, huge Baltimore Ravens fan. Mm-hmm. I watched it with my mouth open for about a quarter, just going, what in the hell is happening?
I was going to say, how insufferable was he?
No, not bad.
Oh, good.
He was routinely Alexander. Your name got brought up at that table a few times.
34-6, though.
I think Stephen was more dumbfounded than I was because he just kept saying, "This is not real."
Right. That's a beatdown of epic proportions. And here's the thing, though: the Baltimore scheme, it just works, and it doesn't matter who you have. They can do it with every. I mean, you saw Devontae Freeman and Le'Veon Bell and Latavius Murray went for over 100 yards rushing. They were able to take advantage. We thought that it might be Lamar Jackson doing it himself. He didn't do that. He stayed the Lamar that we've seen all season. It was just the group of decrepit running backs.
Yeah, Baltimore 2016 Pro Bowl called. They want their running backs back.
Right.
I liked the game plan better yesterday. I liked it. 38 rushing attempts. You average 5 yards a carry. You know, Lamar had 8 carries. And here's the thing. That L.A. run defense is fucking terrible. Mm-hmm. They are horrid against the run. Mm-hmm. That Latavius Murray 12-yard touchdown run, he didn't get touched until he hit the goal line.
Right.
That's inexcusable. You cannot do that. And so now I'm looking at the thing with the Chargers, and the reason we wanted to talk about this was now I'm looking at the schedule going, all right, you're going into a bye week. Mm-hmm. Then you play New England, and I would say you're going to boat race New England.
Yep.
And the Eagles and the Vikings and the Steelers. And I look at the schedule and I go, okay, I feel better.
Whoa. Wait a minute. And if the run's such a problem for them, will the Vikings and the Steelers not give them fits?
I don't think they can hang with them.
Okay.
I think the offense is still good. This is one of those games that struck me as this started rolling downhill and it just never stopped.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, the defense was a big factor for Baltimore yesterday, being able to keep the Los Angeles Chargers in check. So you're not going to get that from the Vikings and the Steelers. You're just not. I mean, you're not going to get competent defense from the Vikings to begin with. No. The Steelers will have some, they will give you trouble. Obviously, as TJ Watt showed you, and we'll talk about him in a little bit as well. Yeah, I'm still on the Chargers, though. I'm still on the Chargers as they are a Super Bowl contender.
The schedule's really friendly, and that team's still really good.
Mm-hmm.
So on this one, now if they lose to New England or something like that, now we can start to talk.
Right.
But I'm just looking at this going, good hell, this team's so talented. This is one of those burn the tape games.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you take it out in the field, but dig a hole and bury it in it. Just, we learned nothing except Baltimore's really good.
Right.
So that's my takeaway. I'm obviously the Chargers are going to go down in my power rankings on Wednesday.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be as much as you think.
Just don't ever undersell Baltimore at home. And I think that's what I did.
I don't think you can undersell Baltimore. I don't care where they play. I don't care if they play on the fucking moon.
I agree.
That team is really good.
Mm-hmm.
And John Harbaugh. By the way, John Harbaugh, why are you such a dick?
Mm-hmm.
Because it makes me like you so much more. They're up 34-6?
Right.
And Keenan Allen catches one on the sideline, and he goes, nope, we're challenging now. It was 6 minutes to go. Fuck off. But that's stupid. And maybe it's because I had Keenan Allen, and I really needed that catch. But
right.
Put your damn flag back in your pocket.
Are we telegraphing a trade here for Baltimore? Tyson Williams was a healthy scratch again. That's 2 weeks in a row.
They don't trust him. I've asked.
That's all that
they
is.
Don't trust him. They know he's an electric runner, but now they're looking at it with the way that backfield's built. With Le'Veon Bell's been in high level games, Devontae Freeman has, Latavius Murray has. So we have all this vet experience. Why do we need to risk this with a young kid?
Right.
Could I see him being dealt? Yeah, but you'd have. I don't look for it to happen. Let me put it that way. But now, when it came out that they've had trade inquiries about their running backs, just say Tyson Williams.
Right.
Nobody called about Devontae Freeman. I can fucking promise you.
Right.
And nobody called about Le'Veon Bell's nutcase ass. They were calling about Tyson Williams.
The Bengals yesterday beat the Lions 34-11. I tried all week. To make it seem like the Detroit Lions were going to come up with something against the Bengals, but they had no answer. Joe Burrow's great. Jamar Chase continues to he's leading the league now in, was it 20-yard and 40-yard catches? I think that's right. If not, he's in the top 3 in both categories. That's a team that you really got to watch out for, and I did enjoy Dan Campbell after the game throwing Jared Goff under the bus. First, he was like, I'm not going to talk, I don't really want to talk about that. And then he paused for about 28 seconds and said, I will say this, Jared Goff needs to do more. He needs to bring his game more and make some big throws for us. I don't think he's the long-term answer there, and they're learning that week after week. And guess who they got to play next week? The L.A. Rams.
The L.A. Rams. By the way, I just saw the video of Jackson Mahomes dancing on that on the Sean Taylor 21.
Yeah.
God, he's a douchebag.
Uh-huh.
And then his apology was, I didn't know. It's chained off, you dipshit. Like, you had to step over the chain. He didn't know. That's his claim.
They had they had a giant ceremony. How could he not know?
The number was painted on the field. He claimed, I didn't know it. It was chained off, you douchebag. Like, go away. You're another one that just go away.
He thought they had chained that off for him to do.
Yeah, from now on, his name is Jackson Mahomes Kardashian. That's what I will refer to him from here on out.
Okay.
Because you were famous for absolutely no reason, and I am so tired of hearing your name.
Right. But Joe Burrow played pretty well yesterday.
Here's the analysis. The Bengals they can really beat the hell out of bad teams.
Mm-hmm.
Unfortunately, and I'm not trying to doo-doo on the Bengals. I know I get accused of that a lot. I'm not trying to dookie on you. You play the Ravens next week.
Mm-hmm.
Then you get the Jets. That'll be fun. And then you get Browns, Raiders, Steelers, Chargers, 49ers, Broncos, Ravens, Chiefs, Browns. That's the rest of your season.
It'll be a little tough.
Woof. This may be the first 5-3 team to ever go 5-12.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't actually see a win on the backside of the schedule.
Yep.
And that's what I was trying to say in the offseason, but I was called a Bengals hater. And now I've said all the nice things about you. You're better than I thought. You just need to coach.
Vito Rodeno says golf was a stopgap always. By the way, welcome back. I haven't seen your name in forever.
Yeah.
Welcome back, Vito.
Hey,
we missed you.
Does that mean he fell off the wagon since we're in AA meeting for sports?
I don't know.
If we don't see you for a while and you come back, does that mean you fell off the wagon?
Maybe isn't he a Dolphins fan?
Yes.
Yeah,
I believe so.
He came in just to see how much we were going to talk bad about Brian Flores.
It's okay. We're just glad that you're here.
But I always felt like golf was just the stopgap. Jeremy kept trying to convince me that he was going to be the long-term solution or could be the long-term solution. I don't think he is. And I think he's proving it. Because in crunch time, over and over and over again, even when they're in these close games, he's making stupid mistakes. Either making errant passes or just flat out dropping the damn ball in the backfield. It doesn't always end up as, other teams' ball, but still, loss of 4 yards in crunch time because you couldn't hold on to the ball, not a good idea.
And here's my question. What can you procure that's better?
No, that's a good question.
There you go. That was my claim with Jared Goff, is that he's going to be the best thing you can have for 2 years.
Right.
Because this draft class and the next one are both bad.
Mm-hmm.
You want to try out with Matt Corral? More power to you. I think you did that, and I believe his name was Andre Ware.
I really don't foresee them going after a quarterback, though.
I don't either, because they're not out there.
Right. They won't be there at the top, and I think they will continue down this path of building from the inside out.
JT Money said, do we get coins or something after a year? That's a brilliant fucking idea. Tokens.
Uh-huh.
Like AA tokens.
Like AA tokens?
Yeah, 30 days sober.
Huh.
That's a brilliant
That
idea.
is a hell of an idea.
God, that's a brilliant
Little
idea.
Sportsocracy year coins.
That's a brilliant idea. God, I love you people.
I do like that. I do like that idea. Anyhow, the Rams trounced the New York Giants. Nobody expected anything different to happen.
And we didn't do a graphic for this, but I have to say this just because he used to play for my Jets.
Yeah.
Hey, Leonard Williams, shut up.
What'd he say?
He was hushing the crowd as they were booing. Like, first of all, you've been in this market for 5 years. This is your 6th year in the NFL.
Right.
You really thought going
that
they were going to get. Because, look, I don't know how well you all know the New York market. I know it pretty fucking well because all my teams are there. I will rest assured, and I haven't seen a TikTok of this, but I bet you there's one out there, of somebody going, fuck you! I guarantee it's out there somewhere.
Right. Yeah, you don't really get to hush your own crowd. I saw that headline this morning, boos, hurt the Giants. Like, they always get booed in their home stadium because they suck.
You know what? I totally lost my train of thought. What team were we even talking about? Oh,
the Giants.
Yeah, you know what hurt them more than the boos?
Not having a living, breathing
the
star
fact that
on
your
their
team sucks a bunch.
Things looked like they were going well pretty early. There were 6 snaps played in this game by Kadarius Toney before he got hurt. Mm-hmm. He caught 3 balls for like 38 yards and then gets hurt. And after that, it was nothing. It was no offensive movement from the Giants. Sterling Shepard was the only one.
Because their offense is brutal.
Uh-huh.
I mean, what is there to like about this team? You're stuck with Daniel Jones.
Mm-hmm.
Your line's bad. Your receiving core lives hurt.
Well, you're only stuck with him for another 2 years.
That's a long time.
Oh, I know that's a long time.
Let's see. This is his 3rd year. So you got another year.
So 1 more year. Because you don't pick up the 5th year option on him. And
I know. You're not paying him $20-something million.
No, and you move on.
And then you replace him with who the fuck knows?
Yep.
Malik Willis.
You replace him with, no, he'll be gone by then. I was going to say Baker Mayfield, but then he'll be gone by then.
Patrick Holt said they'll beat
Washington
there you go.
Next time Baker Mayfield's the next quarterback.
Oh, let's talk about since you said that name, because this is to me this is the easiest one that we're doing.
Oh, the overreaction.
The Browns should move on from Baker Mayfield.
I don't think there's any doubt.
That's CORRECT.
Yeah,
There is no doubt in my mind. You cannot pay him.
Mm-hmm.
Cannot. pay him.
You have to find a cheaper way to move on. You cannot wrap up $30 million or more into a quarterback.
I'll go one step further.
Or did this quarterback.
I'll go one step further. Mm-hmm. The Cincinnati Bengals are better than the Cleveland Browns. Period. They are better than the Cleveland Browns. And when they play, if you told me right now the Bengals after the Jets game, if you told me they had 2 more wins, my number one question would be how many times they beat the Browns. Because I think they'll beat them twice.
Why?
I get Joe Burrow.
Yeah.
You get Baker Mayfield.
Yeah.
Advantage me. The Cincinnati Bengals are better than the Cleveland Browns.
That's it. That game will just hinge on the quarterback, period.
Well, you're seeing a lot of injury atrophy with the Browns.
Yeah.
They're one of the most hurt teams in the league. The defense is not very good. Oh, but they got Jadeveon Clowney and Myles Garrett and Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. First of all, he's very good. The secondary is not great. Kyler Murray just had his way with them yesterday. This team's not very good. And I tried to tell you it wasn't. And, oh, you're a hater. You hate Cleveland. I do hate Cleveland. That is the one city I have ever stepped off a plane and gone, God damn, I can smell the sadness in this place. They're just not very good. If it wasn't for just a fluky-ass Hail Mary, you would have been beaten by 30 on your own home field.
Yep.
You know who doesn't do that? Good teams. Oh, but we didn't have Nick Chubb. I don't care. You had Kareem Hunt, and you refused to use him for extended periods of time.
Right.
Because Baker Mayfield has to run around and do whatever the fuck it is he does. They're not good. They're not good. They're not good. They're not good.
They are good. They're just not.
What are they good at?
They're just not a contending.
What are they good at?
They're good at running the ball.
That's like saying, hey, we're a great company. We make the best typewriter there is on the fucking planet. Sweet.
It's an outdated skill.
I'll take my Mac and just. Yeah, you're good at one thing that nobody gives a shit about, and there's a reason they don't care.
But they got killed by the Cardinals, who's 6-0, and
on your home field.
Okay,
On
the
your
Titans did the
home
same
field.
thing. The Titans did the same thing. Got killed by the Cardinals on their home
Am
field.
I high on the Titans?
No.
Do I have the Tennessee Titans are the second worst of the playoff teams to me. The Bengals were a spot behind the Titans last week in power rankings to me. Yeah, I feel the same way about the Titans that I do the Browns.
Okay.
They're bad. They're bad. They're bad. They're bad. And I'll be honest with you, I think they're going to lose to the Broncos on Thursday.
Oh, the Cleveland Browns?
I think they're going to lose to the Browns or to the Broncos on Thursday.
Okay.
Because I'll be really honest with you. At this point, I'd rather have Teddy Bridgewater than Baker Mayfield. And to me, it's not really all that close.
Sounds rather spicy, but with especially with the bum shoulder, sure, I'll go with you.
I don't care if he had a shoulder that was made of gold and was bionic. I still would rather have Teddy Bridgewater.
I, on the other hand, would not.
How many times has Baker Mayfield had a QBR above 60 all year?
2.
It's 0. He ain't done it once. And let's be really honest, you got 3 wins this year against the lowly bullshit Texans, who you struggled with, the Bears, who couldn't score if you wrap their wiener in $100 bills, and the Minnesota Vikings, who you struggled with in one of the grossest games I have ever seen in my life. He's not a good quarterback. I mean, really, be really honest with yourself and look at who he's beaten in his career. I went all the way back to when he got the job. You beat the Jets. You beat a Baltimore team in overtime that was okay. That was Lamar's first year. They were still playing Joe Falco at the time.
Right.
You beat the Falcons, the Cincinnati Bengals, the Carolina Panthers, Denver Broncos, and the Cincinnati Bengals. You know what all those teams have in common? Bad.
Right.
All right, let's go to the next year. 2019. Oh, that's the year he really turned the corner, right? You beat the Jets, that Baltimore team again. Buffalo before Josh Allen figured his shit out. Pittsburgh, that was good. That shit Miami team that lost 1.5 billion games and went 5-11 in Cincinnati. You notice a trend here? And then last year, I've already said this a billion times, they beat one playoff team last year.
Right.
And it was in a shootout with Tennessee, and you lost to the Jets. He has one good win in his life. He's been in the league 4 years. He has one good win.
Yep.
Other than that, it's a bunch of, hey, we beat bad 4-12 teams. Whoop-de-fucking-do. And I got news for you. I guarantee you there will be Cleveland fans that say, oh, we have to re-sign Baker. Yeah, because you're fucking losers. Because you're a loser franchise. You've been a loser franchise for 40 years. You left. Oh, yeah, we went to Baltimore, and then you started the franchise again. I'll be damned if you didn't build it on an ancient Indian burial ground, and you suck worse now than you did then.
Right. I don't think there should be any doubt about Baker Mayfield's future.
He's not an NFL quarterback.
They should.
Here's the litmus test to me.
Okay.
All right, Baker Mayfield hits the open market. We've already talked about a series of teams here who need quarterbacks. Mm-hmm. Who runs out to sign Baker Mayfield? Who gets the, hard dick syndrome? Would you rather have Daniel Jones or Baker Mayfield?
Daniel Jones.
There you go. Just keep doing it.
Yeah.
Would you rather have Jared Goff or Baker Mayfield? It's Jared Goff. Yeah. That's the point.
So the Washington football
Patrick Holt asks, who's better, Baker Mayfield or Johnny Manziel? I see him as the same player. I see him as the same guy. Here's the difference. Baker Mayfield's not a complete fucking train wreck off the field like Johnny Manziel was.
Right.
Johnny Manziel was doing Molly and clubs on Tuesdays when he had a game on Sunday.
Right.
That's the only difference. That's the only difference. He's still a bad quarterback. And be really honest with yourself. Be 100% hashtag no homer about what I'm getting ready to say.
Okay.
They play the Broncos this week on Thursday. They're probably not going to have Nick Chubb or Kareem Hunt. Mm-hmm. Good luck with that. Then you play the Steelers, at the Bengals, at the Patriots, the Lions. That'll be fun. Then you get a twin bill with the Ravens, the Raiders, the Packers, the Steelers, and then the Bengals again. This team's not going to make the playoffs. With who I think to be a great coach. Mm-hmm. A talented defense that underachieves a lot to me. Mm-hmm. And it all hinges on Baker. You want to know how much a quarterback matters? Just realize, think about how many teams would trade talent for talent with the Cleveland Browns and understand this team will not make the playoffs.
Right.
That's how much it matters. Just think, and somebody, I don't remember who pointed this out to me yesterday. Think about how good the Cleveland Browns would be if they had taken Sam Darnold or Josh Allen. Mm-hmm. Just think about it.
Well, obviously,
if Josh Allen was starting quarterback of this team, how would you feel about the Bengals or the Browns right now?
They'd be a Super Bowl contender.
They'd be a Super Bowl favorite.
Yeah.
Because be real honest with yourself. What do they have that's markedly better than the Browns? Oh, pass rushers? I have the best one in the league.
Right.
Secondary? You got a Tre'Davious White, I got a Denzel Ward. Mm-hmm. Yours is a little better. Mm-hmm. I'll concede that, but I would say I'm deeper.
Right.
My linebacking core is better than yours. My offensive line is better than yours. My running backs are markedly better than yours. Mm-hmm. You got Stephon Diggs. I don't have that. I have a Jarvis Landry that'll be back in a couple weeks. Mm-hmm. And at the end of the day, it's not a playoff team. I know who the seventh playoff team is going to be. I don't know. But I'll tell you right now, if you told me 3 teams make the playoffs from the NFC North, I would guarantee you that the Cleveland Browns would not be one of them. Because I don't see a path to it.
Yeah.
You're going to have to beat good teams. And here's the thing, 3-4 years, Baker doesn't do that.
The real problem is going to be for Baker. I think the real problem will be if he has to miss time because of the shoulder injury. And then what happens? Case Keenum's still his backup, right?
I would rather play Case Keenum than Baker Mayfield.
That's what I'm saying. If Case Keenum comes in and he looks really good, there's going to be questions after Thursday night of who should be the quarterback moving forward.
Chuck G in the comments said, I'm sorry, Sam Darnold isn't good. Do you remember 3 weeks ago? Do you also remember that I am the person that overreacts less than any person on planet Earth? Mm-hmm. Weird. Christian McCaffrey got hurt, and all of a sudden now Sam Darnold looks like a bag of dicks. I wonder why that could be. Oh, I know why. Because there's nobody to check a pass rusher, and he's getting his fucking brains beat out.
Right.
And all right, we got to get into this too. We are a Panthers affiliate, and I saw a ton of Kevin Vick Panthers fans, Adam Black, that would not stop saying this, and I cannot wrap my brain around it. If you're ready to tap out on Joe Brady after these 3 games, I'm going to need that explained to me.
Because the offense hasn't looked good.
Why? Because your offensive line is dog shit.
Yeah. Because Sam Darnold's being harassed and he's making panicked throws.
It's the Jets all over again. Mm-hmm. We've already seen this.
Mm-hmm. He's making panicked throws. He's off timing with his receivers, which is abundantly clear after all of the drops that they were yesterday. I would imagine
Be really
the stat
honest.
sheet would
DJ
say,
Moore was flat fucking bad yesterday, and Robbie Anderson's been bad all year.
Is that a stat that they keep up with of total drops for teams? Because I would have to say that it was somewhere in the neighborhood of it was somewhere in the neighborhood of 10 drops yesterday by Carolina Panthers wide receivers.
Just out of curiosity, at tackle, all right, Taylor Moton is the one good offensive lineman the Carolina Panthers have.
Yep.
He's 20th in the NFL. The other starter, Cam Irving, he's 65 of 78 graded players.
Yep.
Oh, let's go to guard, because guard will be fun.
Okay.
Because I think it's actually worse. The highest rated, good Lord.
Is it Pat Elflein?
It's Dennis Daly. He's the highest rated guard on the team, and he is 46th of 73 graded guards. John Miller is 63rd. That's the other starter.
Okay.
So you have two that are in the bottom half of the league. And Paredes, I can't imagine he's going to be markedly higher.
I'd say he's probably low 20s.
16.
Ooh.
16 of 34 graded.
So
your line's
mediocre.
Bad.
Yeah.
Your line's bad. And now without Christian McCaffrey, you don't have that little running back. I tried to tell you this. The Chuba Hubbard thing, I tried my fucking damnedest to tell you this. This is why he went to the 5th round. Oh, he was such a great value pick. No, he's not. No, he's not. Oh, he can run. There are 90 running backs in the NFL that could run for 100 yards a game if you gave him 25 touches. Straight up. That's not a hard skill to find. Alex Collins is better than Chuba Hubbard. He's the 19th running back in Seattle. And you know what he can do? Fucking block.
Right.
If you want to be mad at Joe Brady, be mad at the fact that I guess Sam Darnold slept with his girlfriend or something, and he just wants to see his head get knocked off his shoulders. But the scheme, you're dealing with what you were given. I mean, yeah, we've given Scott Fitterer all these commendations for Stephon Gilmore and all the things he's done. You haven't addressed the offensive line at all,
right?
And it's bad.
Right.
Cam Irving is a bad NFL football player.
Yeah, but I saw a lot of those tunes changing as well on that last drive.
Chris D asked, how do I trade off Gibson and Gaskin? Gaskin, good luck. That was one that I said very vehemently last week. You should bail water on him right now. Antonio Gibson, I would hold on to. It will get better.
But if you wanted to trade him, you would have no problem finding takers.
You're going to sell him for 70 cents on the dollar right now, and I don't think, and you don't want to do that. I would rather roll with him in an injury, although I get it. He'll be fine. I just saw a ton of Panthers fans yesterday that were, Joe Brady's an idiot and Sam Darnold sucks. And you know what you really need to talk about? Your defense is not very good. And now you got help coming because Stephon Gilmore changes a lot. But Dante Jackson, I don't know how many times I have to say that he is not good at football before people understand it. I don't know what it is about him that people are like, he's fast. That's the one quality he has.
And he's physical. And he makes he makes big, flashy plays. It's just the problem that he gets burned so many times. I mean, even yesterday, you saw him lay a big hit, and that's what everybody goes to. That's the one thing everybody remembers about him is, he had that great big hit. Yeah, but how many times did he get burned? That's why people think he's that good. And there's something to be said for that. I mean, he has created a lot of turnovers, in his 3 years with the Carolina Panthers, but his overall performance hasn't been that great. But I saw a lot of the same thing, but I also saw a lot of, walk back on the whole, our offense isn't good, Sam Darnold sucks on that last drive, where they converted 2 4th downs in crunch time when they needed to, got down, scored the touchdown, scored the 2-point conversion to tie it to send it into overtime.
Here's the thing. At the end of the day, you allowed Kirk Cousins to throw 373 yards. The week before that, you put Jalen Hurts in short field situations. And the week before that, you pretty much let the Dallas Cowboys run the ball down your throat. You know what all three of those things have in common? None of them have a damn thing to do with Sam Darnold. Not one damn thing to do with him. When they get healthy,
giving Philadelphia short fields, that had a lot to do with Sam Darnold.
Is he a punter? Because they got punt blocked on the one that they actually scored on.
Oh, okay.
That didn't have a fucking thing to do with Sam Darnold.
They didn't score on the end, 3 interceptions that he threw.
I think they scored on one of them. They only scored 21 points total.
Right.
So, I mean,
all I'm trying to say is he's not completely blameless.
I'm not saying he's blameless.
It's not totally his fault.
I'm not saying he's blameless.
Right.
I'm saying with this show, we're involved in a lot of team groups on Facebook. And you know what I saw a lot of yesterday? Panthers fans going, man, I miss Cam Newton. Tell me you're an idiot without telling me you're an idiot. Because that's how I felt about that. I would read that and go, cool, you don't understand this game a fucking drop.
Right.
Because if you're looking at Cam Newton going, God, I miss him, you don't know this game very well.
Right.
And Kevin Vick said our offensive line sucks, defense will be fine. I agree with you. These 2 weeks where you were waiting on Stephon Gilmore, they were always going to be a problem. Mm-hmm. That's why they went out and addressed this. Mm-hmm. That's why you went out and traded for Stephon Gilmore, is because you knew we don't have a 1. Dante Jackson's not a 1. Mm-hmm. A.J. Bouyer's not a 1 anymore.
Agreed.
They all can be half-assed decent 2s to fill in until J.C. Horn comes back, and then they'll be really good 3s, 4s, and 5s.
Yep.
And once you have that, you have less to worry about. Christian McCaffrey is the big deal. Not having a running back that's even competent at picking up blitzes and shit. There were times, I watched a lot of this game because it was on the big screen at the social. There were a lot of times that I would just go searching for Chuba Hubbard. And it's not even just how bad you are at this. You're not even in the right place. Like you're not even going to the right spot to actually do something. And 9 times out of 10, you're in the way. I mean, Chuba Hubbard, he's bad. He's lived rent-free in my head forever. Kelvin Joyner said, didn't they trade for C.J. Henderson? Yes, they did. He's played some.
Yeah.
Nothing really to jump up and down about, nothing to bash him for. Mm-hmm. He's getting acclimated to the system.
It takes time.
Which has led to Keith Traylor playing snaps, which is bizarre, and he's actually been good.
Vegas,
in limited work.
Yeah, the Vegas Raiders, they were able to turn things around, get the win over the Denver Broncos yesterday. It's a big boost to that organization. After everything that happened with John Gruden, Rich Bisaccia getting his win and his debut as the interim head coach, 34-24 over the Broncos.
It was very predictable to me.
Derek Carr looked pretty good yesterday. I felt like the offense moved the ball really well in all phases.
They did.
Which was surprising to me because I give the Denver Broncos defense a lot of credit. And they were able to stave off Teddy Bridgewater, which doesn't sound like a big deal, but
no, it was an impressive game.
Yeah,
this is the reason you hired Rich Bisaccia.
Mm-hmm.
Is because he can bring everything together. The team was very impressive. I mean, they had this game in hand. By the way, Kenyon Drake, hey, you're a thing now. You weren't a thing. You're a thing now.
Mm-hmm.
2 touchdowns. He looked really good. Don't understand why he only had 6 touches total, but the fuck do I know? Hey, and Josh Jacobs caught a pass.
He did.
A big pass.
He did.
Maybe Rich Bisaccia will understand that, hey, we can throw to Josh Jacobs too. He actually has hands.
29-yarder?
Yeah. Hey, he actually has hands. Derek Carr was one of the highest-rated quarterbacks of the day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just a lot to like for the Raiders. This is the team that's the team that we told you they were going to be.
Yep. But they look that way against the Denver Broncos. Can they keep it up from here on out? That'll be the big question moving forward. Dallas Cowboys had a struggle on the road at the New England Patriots. It didn't look good. It took a lot of theatrics down at the end to get it done. You were losing and then missed a field goal. Mm-hmm. And then the Patriots fucked up and gave you the ball back. Mm-hmm. Trayvon Diggs again.
He's very good at
God
football.
almighty.
And that leads us to one of our to our 5th overreaction. Mm-hmm. The New England Patriots are a bottom 10 NFL team. And that is CORRECT. Mm-hmm. Correct.
Yep.
This team is fucking god awful.
How much?
And I'm sure a lot of people will go, "Well, that's a weird thing to say after they played dead heat with the Cowboys." How much did it take for you to play dead heat with the Cowboys? Mm-hmm. Do you realize that they beat your fucking brains out? They just couldn't score. Mm-hmm. I mean, just look at the breakdown of this. They were in the red zone 5 times. They scored twice.
Yep.
And by the way, that Dak Prescott sneak, if that's not a touchdown, I have a 17-inch wiener. And let's face it, I don't, or I'd have it out here showing it to you right now. How he can be laying across the goal line on a person, mind you, and that's not a score, that's something the NFL has to figure out. Mm-hmm. Somebody asked in the comments earlier, are the officials willfully bad or do they just suck? They're being asked to do too much. Period. They're being asked to do too much. We're too worried about, did he hit him in the helmet? Or did he say mean words when he was jumping up and down?
Right.
Officiate the fucking game. This was a horribly officiated game. Mm-hmm. It became the narrative way too often.
Yep.
But all of those things go New England's way,
yeah,
and you still lose.
Mm-hmm. It was CeeDee Lamb. It was the CeeDee Lamb show yesterday. Scored 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, he's real good at football.
Mm-hmm. He did very, very well, as I said he would. I was surprised that Damian Harris was able to get over 100 yards rushing against that Dallas defense. Weird things. Right. Huh?
You're good. I just saw something that I need to verify.
Oh. I was very surprised with the Patriots being able to hang in with the Cowboys, but it was basically the Cowboys just stepping on their own toes that kept New England in the game. And then in the end, they were able to thankfully win it in overtime. Because God, what the narrative would have been like today had they lost that game. You could only imagine. There would be picketers outside of Jerry World calling for Mike McCarthy to be fired had they lost that game. So congratulations, they picked up the win in an ugly game, and they move on. Still Super Bowl contenders. I don't think it says anything about them.
It's hard to win on the road.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the performance in the red zone, yeah, there were some times that I looked at Mike McCarthy and went, I don't know that I would have done that, but this game was nowhere near as close as it looks like it was.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of those games that the better team had every opportunity to win this game.
Yep.
The lesser team had every opportunity to win this game.
Yep.
And they were outplayed, and it didn't matter.
Yep.
I don't really understand why you got away from the run game. I mean, yeah, they ran 31 times, but Dak threw for 445 yards.
Mm-hmm.
And back to New England, what do they do well? Oh, wait. What do they do well? Mac Jones, he didn't throw an incompletion until the end of the third quarter. Mm-hmm. Yeah, he started 10 of 10.
Yeah.
And then he went 5 of 11 when it mattered most. And he threw a pick 6.
Right.
Can we stop with this Mac Jones love, by the way? Can we stop?
He still looks like the best of the rookies.
I disagree with him. He looks like the most competent right now.
Mm-hmm.
He has the lowest ceiling by a lot. He has a lower ceiling than Mac Jones, or than Justin Fields does.
And we knew that. I feel like everybody knew that.
What was his quarterback rating yesterday? Take a stab at it.
45.
QBR.
45.
46. That's what he is.
Mm-hmm.
That's who this quarterback is.
Mm-hmm.
He is every game he has played, except for one, he has been between 45 and 65.
Mm-hmm.
And the 2 high games were against the Dolphins and the Texans. He will be fine against bad defensive teams. He will be mediocre against good defensive teams, and he will never, ever be the reason you win games.
Yep.
And they just don't do enough well.
Mm-hmm.
I personally, if I'm Bill, I am looking for my exit strategy because I am looking around going, we have tried everything we can that we can try, and be real honest with yourself looking at that schedule. All right, you play the Jets next week.
Mm-hmm.
There may not be another game outside of the Falcons that you're favored in until you play the Jaguars, the last game of the season. This could end up being a 5-12 team, and it wouldn't shock me at all.
Mm-hmm. How much would it shock you if they ended up getting 8 wins out of the deal, though? Terribly.
A lot. If they win 7 or more games, I will be stunned.
Okay.
There's just not wins on the schedule.
Tough.
Who are you going to beat? Oh, we could have beaten the Cowboys. Yeah, and they very easily could have beaten you by 30.
Mm-hmm.
If they could score in the red zone, then you would have gotten slaughtered. And it really had virtually nothing to do with anything you did. It was more their ineptitude.
Right. And last night, it all wrapped up with the Steelers and the Seahawks.
Apparently, Chris Collinsworth did not know how important Russell Wilson was to this team.
Which is the dumbest thing I heard all night long.
Yeah, I heard a lot of dumb things. By the way, can we stop having games without Al Michaels? I mean, I like Mike Tirico fine, but sweet God, it is hard to listen to Chris Collinsworth when there's no Al Michaels.
Mm-hmm. I hate Chris Collinsworth with a passion, and yeah, that was the dumbest thing I heard all night long. Oh my gosh.
I can't believe how important Russell Wilson was to this team. Really? Are you that bad at this?
Right.
Because if you didn't know
this for
that,
how long?
you are stupid.
But the Steelers escaped 23-20 in overtime. I mean, I got to give Seattle credit. I didn't think that they were going to be in this game. Pittsburgh just continues to have massive problems on the offensive side of the ball. And is it all Ben's fault?
What, the Steelers?
Yeah. Their offensive struggle. I don't know if it's so much Ben or if it's just game plan or scheme or what. I still feel like they still have great tools to use, but for some reason they're just not getting them open.
For 3 quarters. Mm-hmm. It wasn't great moving down the stretch. Here's the problem: Najee Harris has no room to run, and they are trying to force feed him the ball. Mm-hmm. By the way, Pat Freiermuth, he's good at football. Mm-hmm. If you watched our draft coverage, you probably already knew that, but I had to say it out loud. He is real, real good at football.
Yep.
And they're a mediocre team. I look at these two teams the exact same way. This was the most predictable outcome of the week to me. And when you called me an idiot for taking Seattle +5, I went, that's not going to age well.
Yeah.
Because this game played out. The part that shocked me was that Pittsburgh got up 14-0.
Right.
What didn't shock me is that this game went to overtime, and these two teams looked very, very, very similar. Because the problem that Pittsburgh has was put under a microscope last night. Because in the third quarter, which is when Seattle came roaring back, what did they spend the entire quarter doing?
Running the ball.
Playing defense. Their defense was on the field for 11 and a half minutes in the third quarter.
Okay.
That is a recipe for disaster. Because by the time the fourth quarter rolled around, they looked like spent fighters. Mm-hmm. It's just the way it was.
And Seattle gashed them with the run.
Mm-hmm. Alex Collins. Good. But here's the thing. Alex Collins was predominantly good, just wearing them down in the fourth quarter.
No doubt.
Third quarter. Overreaction. The Seahawks might be okay without Russell Wilson. RELAX. This team's still not good.
Right.
This team's bad. I'll be honest with you, I think both these teams are bad. Mm-hmm. I have come around on the Steelers. I still think Mike Thomas, I did see more pre-snap motion last night. I saw more of the things that I was talking about to help Ben, and then it was like they went away from it in the second half.
Yeah.
Like you did so well in the first half. You did all of the things that I said, and then you went away from it. And it was that same, hey, let's run Najee Harris right up Trey Turner's ass 15 times. And there you go. That's the result was, in my opinion, rather predictable.
Right.
But with Geno Smith, Tyler Lockett, I wanted to give him a hug. Because I think if he could have hit Geno Smith in the head with a hammer, he would have.
Yeah.
Did you notice that all night last night? It was like, good God, you're bad. Mm-hmm. And I love how everybody, this team will rally behind Geno Smith. It looked like this team was about to rally behind killing Geno Smith.
Yeah. We can't wait for the next 6 weeks to be over.
So bad.
For Russell Wilson to come back in, was that week 10? I think is when he's coming back, or scheduled to come back.
Yeah, he'll be back week 10.
It's not going to be good until then.
I mean, and you look at the schedule going forward. They're 2-4 right now. Mm-hmm. They play the Saints. That's next. That's next Monday. Then you play the Jaguars.
Oh, you get a win there.
I don't know that you will. It's in Jacksonville.
Stop that. They can only win on one continent.
It's the worst defense in the league. It's the worst defense in the league. It's not close. Mm-hmm. The Seattle Seahawks have maybe the worst defense I have ever seen. And by the way, Jamal Adams, if you're going to say, when they ask you what college you went to, if you're going to say best in the nation, you might not want to drop an interception immediately after that.
Right.
They hit you
literally right in the face.
That literally, if it had been a snake, it would have bit you.
Right. It's almost like he didn't even see the ball, though. Like, watching the replays, he's jumping the route, but his hands never came up. Like, he was just
worst. He is the worst coverage player I have ever seen in my life. I watched him last night, and you know what? The only thing I could think of was, we got Ali Vera Tucker and your first-round pick for him. That was an error in judgment.
Right.
So you could make him the highest-paid safety in the league.
Which is going to end up being, what, like the number 7 pick next year?
As of right now, it would be, I just want to look at it again, 10.
10.
We have 6 and 10 right now. And I'll be honest with you, I've said this more than once. I won't be shocked if the Seahawks pick is better than the Jets pick. Because their schedule is brutally bad.
Wow, half of the top 10 next year could be wrapped up in 2 teams.
The Jets and the Eagles.
Yeah. The rest of us can just check out for the first
secret time.
The first part of the draft.
7 of the top 10 could be wrapped up in 3 teams because you could see the Giants with 2 top 10 picks as well. That is entirely a possibility.
How so?
Because the Giants have the Chicago Bears pick, and they have their own.
That's right, I forgot.
So you're going to have a Detroit, Jacksonville, Houston sprinkled in there. And I could easily see Philly having 3 in the top 10 and the Jets and the Giants both having 2.
Wow.
It makes me feel so good.
23-20, Steelers survive over the Seahawks. It is not going to be good for the Seahawks moving forward. I think that was abundantly clear. It was abundantly clear last night.
And if you're a Steelers fan, I hate to tell you this, but your offense looked really good for a half against the worst defense in the league. Do you know what you have coming up? Have you looked at the Steelers schedule moving forward?
I mean, not recently.
You're at the Browns after your bye week. And you get the Bears and the Lions. Then you go at the Chargers, at the Bengals, Ravens, at the Vikings, Titans, Chiefs, Browns, at the Ravens.
There's a whole lot of bad defenses in there, though. I mean, you said Titans, you said Chiefs.
Yeah. I also said Ravens and Browns.
Well, I get that.
And the Bengals twice, or the Bengals one more time, and they already beat your ass on your home field. Tomlin's going to figure out a way. I just don't know what it is right now.
Right.
I really don't. In Matt Canada, you had the scripted plays were great. There was a lot of motion, a lot of things to aid Ben. After the script came down, it was bad. We have one more overreaction to talk about because we didn't really talk about it. We didn't go that deep into it. Sorry, I got to reset it for posterity's sake.
Right.
Are the Arizona Cardinals the best team in the NFL? I'm gonna say no.
Yeah, I'm gonna say yes.
I had them last week. If you look at the power rankings last week, I had them at 2. They're most likely going to stay at 2, unless the Bills lose tonight. And even then, I think I'd still have Buffalo at 1, them at 2. But I will say this: I think the distance between them is starting to grow. It tells you everything you need to know that that's the best game they played all year. That or the Titans game.
Yeah.
It tells you everything you need to know. They did that without Cliff Kingsbury. It didn't matter. But I will say, and look, I talk a lot of shit about Cliff Kingsbury because I think he is a terrible in-game coach. Watching that offense, that's the first time I've really been able to sit down and watch an entire game live as opposed to going back and watching it. That defense or that offense is really creative. That 4 receivers to one side shit, it's so predictable, and yet you still can't stop it. They had, I can't remember, I think the pass went to Christian Kirk. And this was an incompletion, and it was probably the play that impressed me the most. Cleveland gets completely bum-fuzzled by this 4 receivers on one side shit. So you got Christian Kirk one-on-one with some 4th-string cornerback. If he doesn't turn the wrong way, it's a touchdown. And you knew it was coming. I'm sitting here looking at it going, there is not a snowball's chance in fuck that he is not going right at that corner right there. Didn't matter. Nothing you can do about it. Because you got 4 receivers over here, so you got to shield both safeties over that way. And it's chess, not checkers. I mean, that Cardinals, they're my number 2. And they will stay at 2. But I'll be honest with you, if I had to put money that mattered to me on 2 teams to be in the Super Bowl, it would be the Bills and the Cardinals.
Yeah. I think the Cardinals have made the case that they should be considered the best team in the league.
I agree.
The way that offense runs, the veteran leadership on the defense. I mean, J.J. Watt they were able to get after the quarterback yesterday, and they were able to make disruptive plays, and that was without Chandler Jones. You add Chandler Jones.
It was without Chandler Jones and without your coach. Mm-hmm. You want to know why I was so hard on the Browns? Because of what I just said.
Yeah,
and it was in Cleveland. Either the Cardinals are the best team in the NFL or the Cleveland Browns suck. And I think it's a modicum of both.
I don't think Cleveland sucks. I don't think they're one of the best teams in the league. But the Cardinals being able to hand them that kind of a loss,
this Cardinals team is insanely good. And Kyler Murray is everything I tried to tell you he was.
Mm-hmm. I agree. I think they really do have a case for number one. In the power
they certainly have a case. I will still have Buffalo there. By the way, Alex Sanders said in the comments that he does manage a sports book. He said when you see 92% of the action on one side, go the other way. Usually I would agree with you. Mm-hmm. Not tonight. I'm on Buffalo because it's not enough.
Yeah.
This does have trap game written all over it, so I totally understand what you're saying. I just vehemently disagree with you.
Yep, no, I'm on Buffalo as well tonight. But we'll talk more about the Monday night game coming up this afternoon on ESPN Asheville, 92.9 FM, 880 AM, and 1400. The Sports Tank with Jeremy Greene, heard everywhere on the iHeartRadio app, weekdays 3 to 5, live or on demand. We get the podcast posted up every night as well. And, of course, we'll be back here tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. here in the Wicked Weed studio. We'll be doing more individual game-by-game recaps. We'll have those coming out tonight as well on the channel.
They should be coming out during the Monday Night Football game. So if you start the first one, you should be able to just run through them because they come out every 15 minutes.
Right.
So if you just hit one, thank you, Jason Trump, by the way, for explaining to me how to do that. Mm-hmm. You should be able to run through them, and it should be about contained into the 8 o'clock to 12 o'clock of Monday Night Football.
Yep. And you can lock in your wager for tonight's game at betus.com, betus.com. Use the promo code Sportsocracy and get that deposit bonus of 125%, and they will do that up to $2,500. betus.com, promo code Sportsocracy. I'm Tank Spencer. He's Jeremy Greene.
Yeah.
And we'll see you next time.
Thank you.